Hey, there we go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it might be where you are. Welcome back to the live stream. My name is Jeff Fritz. And, oh no, you can see through my hat. Oh no. Oh, I thought I had that lined up right. I am so sorry. We're going to write a little bit of code today. I'm going to try and fix that hat filter real quick. Svava! No, of course. It read it! It read it! Oh my god, it read it! That never happens. It never reads it when Svava cheers What Mischief First Thing. Welcome, good morning, Svava. Thanks so much for tuning in and joining us. I'm going to see if I can fix that color on the hat real quick. Can I get it to work? Am I going to get it? That's pretty close. I've almost got it. I like it. Oh my gosh. How's it going there, chat room? Surly Dev, Copper Beardy, Tagaron, Eternal Dev Coder, Cryptic Coder, good to see you. Hi there, Stream Elements. Winning all over today. Oh, Svava. Let me tell you, I could use a little winning today. It's been a rough morning. How's it going, Frackberg? It has been a rough morning for me. It's been a rough couple days here. A lot of work going on, a lot of things that are just not quite sitting right with me, but writing code, getting stuff fixed, getting stuff working gets me out of that funk, and I'm looking forward to doing a little bit of that, sharing that with you here this morning. Frackberg says, had a rough night himself, got a new puppy. Congratulations.
Totes my goats.
I don't know if that was the right sound effect to play for that, but congratulations nonetheless. Well done. Best of luck to you and your new four-legged friend and four-legged family member, Semsem9000. Good morning. Good to see you. Yeah, so we've had it's just been a weird couple days here. Having to get up every hour to let the puppy out. Yeah, that's where it gets a little bit more interesting the first week or so with the puppy. All the best to you. And oh my goodness, that's going to be tremendous. You're going to have so much fun in the weeks and months ahead. All right, we've got a couple things that are hanging out there that I want to fix, that I want to get into and discuss. We figured out yesterday that our shout out command somehow broke. So we're going to go through, we're going to drop in and see if we can fix that. And I think there's a couple other things that we'd like to tune, we'd like to add and enable in the bot. And we'll get back into our web application after that. So I wanted to spend a little bit of time talking through a couple of these things. Irandas hugs everyone while still poking her laptop. Tap, tap, tap. Come on, get working, laptop. Good to see you, Brave Cobra. Thanks so much for joining us. Chris Jones is here. Hello, hello. Oh my goodness. Let me get some music playing here in the background. Of course, we're going to play Music to Code by our friend, Mr. Carl Franklin. It's been scientifically engineered. It's been designed to get you in the groove, to get you focused on whatever the task is that you might be working on. And today we're going to play, let's play Orange. There it goes. This music will get you so focused, all your other worries will fade away. Check it out, mtcb.pwop.com. You can execute the music command in the channel, and it'll give you the link to go download the music. Thank you so much, Carl, for letting us listen to your music while we write some code together live here on stream. There we go. Thank you, Frankus, for firing that music command. All right. So, we've got a couple things out here that I want to talk about, that I want to get into. I got to make sure I have that open. And I want to talk about the Marie Kondo Minute, that show idea that we had. I want to make sure that we talk about that. But I want to start off, let me get to the right page here. Before. And this is Fritz, that one. There we go. All right, let's head over to the code. There it is. Oh, I've got my Vault-Tec hat on today because I don't know, it just felt right. This felt right. Like I'm gonna be one of those crew workers, just making stuff happen all day today, going through and hammering away. This is our Stream Tools project. This is the project that has the things in it like our chatbot that we run. So we're going to go through and see if we can fix the shoutout command that seemingly I break every other time that I edit this project. I don't know how, but it just stops working occasionally for us. I've got a bunch of pull requests hanging out here. A lot of these from Dependabot, recommending that we apply patches to the project. So there's some auto fixture things down here that haven't quite worked right, that I'm not thrilled with. This one, bumping cognitive services, I don't like this. It's a major version bump, and it's broken. We have the red X there indicating that it hasn't compiled properly when we apply this change. So that worries me, right? I don't want to apply a change that's going to break my application. But fluent assertions being updated, sure, we'll apply this pull request. And I'll go through some of the rest of these and click them through. I wish I could like click a bunch of them and say, yeah, go ahead and apply all of these, right? Things like logging abstractions, sure, go ahead, apply that. That's pretty easy to say, yeah, I'm all right with this one. A part of me thinks I should even control click to open these so I'm not scrolling back and forth. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying there, chat room? So I'm going to control click through these. Dependency injection going from 2.1.1 to 2.2. Yep, go ahead and do that one. Configuration abstractions. Now you see this Dependabot is rebasing. It's making sure that things line up and make sure that they work properly. Brave Cobra asks, don't the unit tests cover the breakage? Yes, they did. Right, and that's why, you know, we've got to see exactly where it is and how to fix it. And because I need to apply a fix, I'm not going to just, without thinking, click through and apply, you know? And I don't think, while we're waiting for this to build, right, I can even see it building, can't I? Oh, well, this one's okay. It finished the rebase. So go ahead and do that one. There it goes. While that's going along, let me see if I can go back up here. Can I click through to this? Details. So we can watch it building. Right? So this is Azure DevOps, right? This is doing our continuous integration. It's running all of our tests for us and making sure that things work. So we can see it's building, it's done these other ones that we've applied and asked it to do. And it's doing more of them now to make sure that all of the fixes that it's recommending we apply work. Goran Hal, good to see you. Copper Beardy with the darn skippies. Gotta love a good force push first thing in the morning. Well, we didn't force push. I didn't force push anything. Right, I'm submitting and I'm allowing the pull request to go through. I'm okay with that. Right? So here, now it's building again over here. Right? See, it's still in progress to do this one. So, right, look at all those builds. But, right, some of these are, right, pull requests from things that I haven't pushed through yet. Right? And I'm pretty sure, since these are patch level, right, because it went from 0.17 to 0.21, by the rules of semantic versioning, right, those rules that dictate how and when you increment each one of the numbers in a version, this shouldn't be changing the behavior of the library, right? It should be a bug fix. Discord said it was a force push because a lack of sleep has me squirreling hard. Wow. All right. Fanny Reinders, good to see you. All right, now I've got, look at this, now I've got a red X over on this one. That's a problem. Well, there's the first problem. Yeah. We're gonna end up having to fight with this, aren't I? They're all coming through positive. Right, I'm getting greens on all of these green lights that they are building properly. Right? This kind of annoys me that the restore takes a minute and a half. Like, what are you doing? Mordecai, good to see you. Cadmus, the smiley indicator there, that's a sentiment analysis widget that's looking at the messages going by in chat, and based on machine learning sentiment analysis, it's determining whether it's positive or negative and putting an average score there. So there's actually a command for that. See, look at this. Look, the bot's completely choking on the help command. There it goes. Sentiment. There you go. Sentiment over the last minute is 81.6, but it's trending downward. Well, if it's that high, of course it's trending downward. Now it just flipped. Look at that. Now it's trending upward. Nah, you're good. And you could, of course, fire tacos across the screen, and that'll make everybody. Did it not? Is it not? What's it called? Capagen should be working, right? Did we see the tacos go across the screen? We should have seen that. I feel like there they go. I feel like I'm constantly tweaking. This one is configuration JSON. That one built properly. We saw that. Good. Take that one. I feel like I'm constantly tweaking stream elements here because the numbers are never right. Right? So, this one's good. All right. Get rid of that one. System IO abstractions. And there we go. That one built properly. Good. Yep. Squash and merge. All right. So we've got a couple of them here we need to take another look at. I'm not worried about these auto fixtures, but user secrets. This one doesn't. This one looks like it needs a little bit of help. Right? Yeah, build not found. That worries me. What the heck's that doing? Taser, good to see you. Hello, hello. Let's see. The numbers. This should be 7417 under me. There we go.
Thanks for a great show.
Thanks so much, Goran Hal. I really appreciate that. Yeah, we try and make have a little bit of fun here. Biddies indeed, Aaron Doss, and for that very kind cheer, we'll make a donation to Coder Dojo. We're supporting Coder Dojo with all of our subscriptions, all of our cheers, all quarter long, ending at the end of September. We'll make a donation to them, and because they're trying to build facilities, train trainers, enable folks everywhere in the world to grow their technical career. So we want to support them, and we want to encourage them, and we'll make a donation to them at the end of, well, after the quarter's over. So, yeah, I didn't log anything yet because we're going to do a bunch of bug fixes. We're going to take a look at a couple things, maybe a little potluck here. We had some fun Friday with a little potluck streaming, just wherever the spirit moved us, doing something fun there. So let's see, this one, there we go, right? These are kind of choking. I have a feeling that these choked because of the rebasing that Dependabot does. So this one's waiting, these two are going through, and we'll see what happens here. Let me set a project. So we'll say bug fixes for our chatbot and WebAssembly work. We'll call it that today. All right, there you go. There's a line for the project command. Come on, build. Let's go. Hey, thank you for the follow. History teacher Hashingen? Welcome. It's good to see you. Thanks so much for joining us, and I look forward to seeing you in the chat room. Aaron Doss says, I swear with all the Minecraft I've been doing lately, I can fully see why it's been appearing in schools. Provides an excellent base for learning coding. You're not wrong. It's a very good point, not just for coding, but also for art, right? When you think about the pixel art that you can do with Minecraft, there's a lot that you can do there that actually is quite interesting, right? When you think about some of the chemistry and that Minecraft teaches, there's definitely something there, but the scripting and the other things that you can light up inside Minecraft as well are very, very interesting for folks that want to teach young people. Yeah. Would I ever support PowerShell Hawk? What's PowerShell Hawk? I'm not familiar with PowerShell Hawk. It's an LOL streamer name. All right. If that makes you happy, I'll support you. Not a problem. So once this pull request is through and we're sure that it works, right? We've got these two here. And it's that text analytics one that I don't want to really dig into and fight with, but there's a couple of bug fixes here that I think we may want to look at. Excuse me. This one, sound effects need to notify when they're on a cooldown period, from Surly Dev. This is a good idea that we should probably talk about, because we might be able to drop something in here. We have all these different sound effects now that you can play from chat. I'm not sure if me saying that was the best idea, because you're... Anyways. So to echo what the...
Oh my.
Yeah, oh my indeed. To echo what that cooldown is, it's not too hard to do. I think we can do that. Cadmus!
Bits for promoting tech skills.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Cadmus. And as we go through our code here, I'll be sure to log those cheers for a little bit of cheer graffiti to follow along. The Oh My is one of your favorites? Nice. And we'll make another donation to Coder Dojo. Thanks so much. History teacher says, is there a way to follow a whole Twitch team? You know what? There used to be a way to do that. I was reading through some documentation, and there used to be a way to do that. It looks like the only way to do it now is to actually click through them all and click all the buttons. How about a sound effect for C#? Could be a lion roar. I'm open to a suggestion. If you can find a good lion roar for that, I'd be open to applying that. Sure. Surly Dev. I heard my name and good idea. I'm not sure that's the same. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you joining us. No. I think it's a very good idea to echo the cooldown time appropriately for a sound effect. This one, there we go. This one finished and built properly, so we'll merge in the update to user secrets. Let me back up one more time here. There's that text analytics and these couple ones on auto fixture that I'm not too thrilled with. Part of me wants to just bump that out. If I look at what is broken in here, right? This is the advantage of having continuous integration wired up automatically to your pull requests in GitHub, right? Whenever somebody says, here's some code to try, it automatically runs a build, runs all the tests to see if it works. I can control click through here and I can see exactly where that error is. And as Brave Cobra was suggesting, it's going to point out exactly where it is. It's a failed build because, where is it? Exited with code 1. I'm looking for the error. There's the bundler. There you go. Argument 3. So they changed the syntax of what I'm using in my sentiment service. This might actually be kind of important that we address. I'm going to take this as a to-do item that we should address here today. Let's put together just a couple notes. We need to fix the shout-out command. Right, so exclamation point SO, and if I want to shout out somebody like, well, there's Lannon. Lannon's another member of the Live Coders team. If I try to shout out Lannon, now it works. It wasn't working at all yesterday. Those of you that were here yesterday, Friday, it wasn't working. And there's the Live Coders team working. Yeah, bug fixing in a nutshell, indeed, Cadmus. It's yeah, right. The works on my machine. Oh, you know what? I need to take that. Where'd it go? There it is. I've got to take. I'm gonna mark shoutouts are working again. Let's go back to. Let me do this one. This is fix for cognitive services. 2v4. There was somebody made a request to update the merch site to include stuff for the Live Coders team, so folks can get stickers, buttons, t-shirts, those types of things. I'll get those on the merch site so that folks are able to get their hands on those things. I have jerseys. I'm supposed to have a proof jersey coming this week to verify the colors, right, in the material and all that stuff. I'm really looking forward to that. So I want to fix this, and I also want to do the show cooldown for the sound effect. I think we can do that one pretty easily as well. If something's on cooldown, report how long is the cooldown. So it's kind of the flip side of the demo gods. When you know something is breaking, it'll work when you want to show it to someone. Yes! Yes! Oh my gosh. It's such a pain in the neck. Why would it do that to me? Why? Because
60% of the time, it works every time.
I don't know. It just does. So, and I've got a couple new sound effects that I need to figure out where to drop in. Right?
You're amazing. You figured this all out already.
I am amazing. I am. Is anyone aware of a way to do a and or condition for a pipeline stage? Ooh. That's an... Can you give me a little bit more of an example there? Is that UNT Walker? I hope I'm pronouncing that right. An and or condition for a pipeline stage. Yeah, it sounds like something you're going to need to write a little bit of script for. There are ways to do things. So, let's see if we can fix this and do this. I was going to fix shoutouts, but it looks like shoutouts are working. So, hey, what do I know? Let me head over to my source code. I was working in the Pixel bot a little bit yesterday, because there's some neat things that are going to be coming down the pipe there, because we're getting a request for a feature from our friend Imperial. You might know her. She was Imperial Girl. She's a variety streamer that primarily does some things in the craft area, and she's got an idea for a widget that we'd like to work on together. Conditions, yeah, you can do conditions on stuff. So the and or feels, there's a smell there that I worry about. Already a couple minutes into the stream and we fixed shoutouts. You know what?
I love it when a plan comes together.
I do. It was just that easy. We'll just run through every command to make sure they'll work. Yeah, we'll do that. That's a bad idea. Bad idea. All right. So I have an app settings. What's different there? Oh, this one.
Oh my.
Oh my, indeed. I want to fix the raid call. The raid call looks ugly right now in chat. You may have noticed this. It does. I want to fix the way that looks. Unfortunately, it's a block of text inside our app settings file, so I think we can fix that. I saw that, Kappa. Between the new GitHub Actions and Azure Pipeline syntax, Lannan sees a lot of parallels. It's like they're running almost the same infrastructure. Oh, they are. You're right. They are. Which is then confusing for folks, right? Like, why would I choose one over the other? Well, they're the same. Why are they two different products then? So, let's see if we can address this Cognitive Services version to version 4. What was changed here is inside of the Stream Tools project, we're bumping Cognitive Services text analytics from 3 to 4. This library is what we use for that sentiment analysis number that you see there in the middle of the screen. And when Lannan and I built that together, we had a whole bunch of ideas for different ways that we could show and demonstrate sentiment analysis. Maybe there's some stuff that's in this version we can start to think about, we can start to consider. So I'm going to go over to Visual Studio, open up, it's not the chatbot, it is the Stream Tools project. This is an ASP.NET Core 2.2 project that's been built as a website because all these widgets and things that you see are just web pages that are embedded inside OBS so that you can work with them. So that's what we've done. We've built a website that hosts a bot that's running as a background service that you can then interact with. So I'm gonna try flipping this. We'll see where it breaks. So I'll force a build here, and we'll take a look. Am I right? Did I not see Karnak run? I don't think Karnak is running. Hey, Turbo Nautilus, good to see you. Yeah, I'm still waiting for GitHub Actions to be enabled for me as well. And I'm not going to pull rank on that. I want to go through, very much so, and that's why you see a lot of the decisions that I make on stream. I want to go through the same process as somebody who isn't directly accessing the inner machine that is Microsoft and GitHub and LinkedIn and Mixer and all the companies in the corporation. That says build succeeded. That says build succeeded. Chat room. I changed that to 4. Just like that. That can't be right. That can't be right. Let me rebuild that. I have UNT Walker says I have a pipeline that has multiple stages: unit test, UI test, Xamarin Android build, iOS build. There's sometimes I just want an Android build. I don't want to do any tests or iOS builds, so if I could pass a variable into the build, I could avoid the different stages. Ah, okay. That. All right, that's the error I was looking for. There are ways to set up build triggers inside of Azure pipelines. Let me answer, and please let me know if I'm pronouncing it wrong. UNT Walkers. Let's see if I can answer this correctly. So I'm going to edit my pipeline here. What you can do, yes, is you can put conditions on why, how and when things happen. Only when all previous tasks have succeeded, even if a previous task has failed. Only custom conditions, and I can put a custom condition here if I'd like. An expression that controls when the task should run, right? So there are ways to turn on and off steps. It sounds like you've got several agents, though, that are hanging out there that you could... Right, so demands, right, parallelism, timeouts, dependencies, additional options. Run this job only when all previous jobs have succeeded, or a custom condition using variable expressions. And you could put a variable expression in here that says, right, maybe you have a bunch of variables that you want to say, well, only run this in whatever circumstance. So you can fire up a trigger right? So I have continuous integration, pull request validation, right? You can set up additional triggers in here. You have a trigger based on different branches. Nice. So you want to do and or on some of these trigger conditions. Well, when it triggers, right? Isn't there a way to set a variable? No, don't see it here. No. Interesting. So you want to be able to reuse, right? In the tasks, you've probably got several different agents because you're building for Android, for the web, for these different things. You want to like run just the one agent at a time. That's interesting. Right. I don't think you can say just run this one agent. I don't know. That's a really good question. There's got to be a way to do that. Right? I mean, the whole reason you have separate agents is so that you can run them in parallel for different purposes. If you want to just rerun the one agent and not the whole shebang, there's got to be a way to do that. Yeah, I would need to do a little bit of research. A good person to ask on Twitter is Abel Wang. Abel does all kinds of crazy setups, and he kind of takes it as a challenge to figure out ways to make Azure pipelines do that. Let me know if you need help reaching out to him, but we can try and figure that one out. Pac-Man Jr., good to see you, says, hello, have you tried the YAML builds out yet? Yes, I have. Not a fan. Pretty cool, but not as intuitive. That's why. It is nice because you can check it in with code. Yes, but when you do check it in, you completely lose the ability to do the visual interactions with this. And for the types of demonstrations and things that we do here on stream, this is more important than the maintainability. I completely agree. If I was building this just for me, just for my small team, makes perfect sense. I am all over the YAML builds. The fact that I can't round trip it back to this interface, where it's very easy for me to explain and show and demonstrate for folks that are new to DevOps, I can't do it. There are now user interfaces for certain settings. Cool. I need to be able to round trip. That's the requirement that I have before I can completely get on board with it. So, leave. Thank you for the follow, Inubia. Welcome. Appreciate you joining us. So, all right, let's go back over here. So I've got this one. I was mousing over it and it hid. There it is. I've got this bug defect. Can I convert from multi-language batch input to string? So here. All right, so this is part of... Oh my gosh, Eternal Dev Coder. Thanks so much for the cheer. 100 bits. And we'll make a donation to Coder Dojo. Thank you very, very much for that. And I'm going to drop a couple of these cheers in here in just a second. So what I'm running into, right, this run task, let me show you. Here we go. This is looking at what I called the sentiment sink. This is a queue, an in-memory queue that is maintained between Twitch chat and the sentiment analysis. So as it's being picked up by the chat bot in another process, it's being put onto this queue. If there are any messages on it, we'll go get those messages, clear out the messages that are in the sink, and let's go do the sentiment analysis. This is where it's doing the tell me what what this thing is. So it's calling Client Sentiment Async. And I noticed that the fine folks at the Azure SDK group have declined to put documentation with their APIs.
You have no idea what you're dealing with.
I don't, because they didn't put a description with the stupid method.
You're about to get a serious beatdown.
You are. So you know what I'm going to do?
Well, do your best.
I am. I'm going to do my best. If you're making an SDK and you're going to publish it as a NuGet package, friends, Romans, countrymen, give us a little bit of a description to go with that. I'm not publishing this as an API for other folks to deal with. It's okay that I'm, in my mind, that I'm not including a lot of comments here. It is kind of clear exactly what these things are doing. But when you're publishing an API for other folks to consume, you want them to be as successful as quickly as possible. So if you're going to publish... he should know about this. Not Marty McFly, but whatever. If you're going to publish an API, and I don't care whether you're using C#, JavaScript, TypeScript, Ruby, PHP, if you're going to publish an API, a library for other folks to use, give as much documentation as possible. I said it. I know. So we want to encourage folks to succeed. I don't know the difference between this and the other and the next thing. And here's the best part. I hit F1 to go to Microsoft Docs. You know what it has in the docs? Nothing. Do you know why it has nothing in the docs? I'll tell you why it has nothing in the docs. Because all they did was generate the documents from the code that's been used to build the API. So there's no descriptions here as to what these things are. Nothing, no helpful text. And that makes me sad. No, this page is not helpful. There are no descriptions for the fields. I get the exact same information. No. This tells me nothing about what this method does. And applies to latest preview. Doesn't tell me what version it is. Just says applies to the latest preview. Which version is that? Thank you for the follow, Unbleaklessness. Nice. Welcome. So, yes, this is... Oh, and I'm sure the 7 broken mirrors. I'm sure you're absolutely right. The auto-translated help pages probably aren't in too good a shape either. Did I skip Python? Sure, if you're building libraries for Python also, you should absolutely do that. You should absolutely include some descriptions and things to help folks find out how to use your library. Aaron Doss says, I love it when developers produce code for others to compile that is practically a novel of comments in it. Yes. Comments for folks that you don't know are extremely helpful. Is that Elfo Crash LOL? I've been told so many times that detailed documentations is one of the reasons why people are using my Cosmos DB SDK. Yes. No matter the language that take it upon yourself to make it easy for the user to use your project. I'll go you one further, Elfo Crash. Do you remember when jQuery really hit in the 2010s? I mean, really hit, right? Do you know why jQuery was so successful? It wasn't because it had a better API. It's because it had better docs. The docs for jQuery are beautiful. They are a thing of beauty to read and learn from. Look at how easy this is to read and understand. Oh, that's what this type is. This is what it does. Not just that, but here's a nice sample description. This is gorgeous. And it's interactive. Right? It's showing you, here's exactly what this does. So, when I see, especially for Azure, documentation that is this bare, and it doesn't even tell you the version number that it applies to. Not, I'll go you one further. I pull this down. There's no version numbers on that either. Get it together, Azure SDK people. I've already got enough of an argument with you over configuration and how you're not handling configuration properly. Documentation is where the community shines, says Brave Cobra, and I completely agree. You're a little asleep at the wheel here, friends. Let me catch up on chat room. Pac-Man Jr. says it's good to see someone else frustrated with docs. Yes. Cryptocoder asks, is anyone reading those feedbacks? I wouldn't be surprised if they're on vacation right now because of the summer months here in the States. jQuery docs are still solid, says Elfo Crash. Yes. Yes. It is very, very nice. Certainly, Dev. Some people say to comment your code so that you can understand it when you come back to it. Absolutely. And I agree with the second half of Surly Dev's comment, is to comment your code for the psychopath maintainer that knows where you live. Well, there is that, sure. Fuel Snable says Microsoft can do good documentation. Win32 is good as well as DirectX. The .NET docs have been poor in comparison. The .NET Core docs are improving, and they've really done a nice job making them better. APIs like this for some of the services are falling on their face. When you find out what it does, you can submit a PR and improve the docs. No, you can't. No, you can't. Azure does not allow you to submit a PR to improve the docs. Right? I'm on mic. This is, first off, hello. How did I get signed in to learn over here? No. I don't want, no. Why did it make me Algeria? I didn't say 5978. Where'd the 5978 come from? Okay. Dorothy, thank you. Was this page helpful? And I've said no. There is no pull request here. You can't submit a pull request to the Azure documentation. Yes, I agree. 7 broken mirrors. This is a help, and I wish I could fix it. I would love to submit a pull request for you, Azure, but you don't have it. You've removed that capability. And I'm going to keep going off here about it. Because this is a complete divergence from, and I don't like that I'm on Learn for this. Right? If I go docs.microsoft.com and I take a look at ASP.NET, right? API reference. ASP.NET Core 2. I don't care. I'm just going to choose something here. Sure. Right? Let me find something down in here. Right? Where did the pull request thing go? It's not here. It's gone. It was down here at the bottom. Right? Where did it go? .NET Standard. Sure. Find me date time. Sure. Right? They just don't want our help. I know, right? There we go. Edit. Right? I can edit the document here. You can't over here. So there's no way to improve it. Let's see here. Just reading the alphabetical list. Yeah, kind of. Someone should fix that. OSS docs through GitHub is a thing I highly like. I agree, Lennon. The open source documentation is amazing. Surly Dev was talking to one of his bosses about TDD, and the boss said, "Why would you write code to test code?" Needless to say, I don't work for him anymore, and the funny thing is, the office manager and the trainer were the testers for the application we sold, and they were huge bottlenecks. Yes. Right, Elfo Crash. It's clearly missing, right? It's over here in .NET Standard. I'm curious as to where it went for... I don't get this. Right, so, short .NET Core, Preview 8, right? I don't know. Sure, SystemNet HTTP. I don't care. Find me HTTP client. Look, edit is right there. I can edit the stuff and submit a pull request. So, thank you for the follow. Oh, thank you for the follow, Alpha Crash. I appreciate that. And your comments here this morning have been quite helpful. Thank you. Hey, JAF1021. Good to see you. How often am I linked that meme? What meme? I don't know. I'm not going to open that right now. It probably got removed because people were just spamming it saying this documentation, I'm going to say stinks. I'm not going to paraphrase there. Yeah. There used to be content submission on Docs Microsoft. Yes. And it's not there. So I'm going to scroll down here, and the fact that I don't have any definition as to what this is doing makes me feel bad. It does. Because what it looks like they've done... Follow me for a second here, chat room. Looking at this API, I'm going to put it side by side with what I actually wrote. Right, so I executed sentiment async, right? And input text equals null, so I didn't send in input text, but instead I sent in multi-language batch input with the message list to send through. It's not letting me put through a message list. It's letting me only put in input text along with the language. Yeah. It was nice meeting me. Oh, Elfo Crash. Thank you for the kind words about meeting me at MVP Summit. So I think what I need to do, if I understand this properly, is I just need to drop this to just the message list, right? And say input text is the message list. Which feels bad because message list is actually a list of multi-language inputs, and those multi-language inputs have text, ID, and language. Oh, dear God. Okay. All right. I'm feeling so wonderful about this. I'm just going to select out then the text. Where'd it go? There it is. Just select out the text, and instead of casting that to a list, I will cast it to an array. So then I can do string.join on the message list with a separator of, let's put a carriage return. Now, why doesn't it like that? What? I'm selecting out the value, which is a string. So this is a string array. I'm joining it together. Why doesn't it? This doesn't make sense, this error message. And, oh, that's a very good question, 7 Broken Emotes. Let me come back to that in just a second, because I'm not doing any pre-processing on those. And that. Yeah. if I do string.join up here with a carriage return on these, right now message list is just a string. And now it doesn't like it again. Oh, you naughty, naughty. It changed the result signature. Results, yeah. Oh, yeah. Look at the trickle down on this. Ugh. So the average score, I only get a single score coming back. Right? And even then, yeah. Okay. Because it should have a value. So I want to say, see, I lose the size of that because the average score is what's already being returned in this value, right? That's going to be an average of them. But I want to make sure I include it for however many values come in. I could just allocate that count. Right? But that feels weird that I'm doing two operations there. Lennon suggests, you know what'd be great for this? Migration guides. You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. There, that fixes it. That looks like it's got it. Let me try building and see what that does. So I'm going to reflect back here. Seven Broken Mirrors asks, am I doing any pre-processing on the Twitch emotes for sentiment analysis? No. And that's something that we've been looking at and discussing. Is that something that we should do a little change here to handle? And I've reached out to the folks in the ML.net team. There is something we can do for that. And it would actually save us a lot of money to convert this so it's using ML.net and a local model for sentiment analysis. So, might need to do that. Sentiment batch async. Oh, here. Alright, tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to save this. Let me go back. So if I go all the way back. Right? There was that and this. Right? Was this changed? Is there a sentiment batch async? There is. Aha! So then I can pass in the multi-language batch input. Alright, so then I get, if I just change this to message list, right, which is multi-language batch input. I'm getting just multi-language input. What's a multi-language batch input then? New multi-language batch input. Yeah, there we go. So if I do that, now everything continues to work properly. That feels better. Oh my gosh, good pickup, little Andy. Well done. All right, where's my coins? Let me hand out some coins. And now everything, all my other things that I had there, they appear to just work. That feels so much better. And you're right. It would have been nice to get some sort of a recommendation with that. All right. So that builds and works. Right? Build succeeded. Good. Yeah. That does feel like a good thing to have included in a migration guide. Okay. So, all right, so we have that fixed, right? Show the cooldown for the, let me put the cheers in here for that fix. I'm going to put it right here. And, what day is today? The 25th. I didn't even announce that today was the 25th, did I? Goran Howe, 25th. There we go. Cheer 100 from Cadmus. There we go. And one more from Eternal. Oops. Eternal Dev Coder on the 25th. There we go. Thanks so much for those cheers. And we'll have that cheer graffiti hang around here. We do have an app that we were writing that analyzes our code and pulls this out. So we can have a supporters page inside of our GitHub repository. I think we need to get back to that at some point. So that fixes this one. Cool. All right. Cooldown for the sound effect. Wait, the end then didn't work. See that? The bot's taking a powder again. It stopped. It's completely.
And then?
Whatever. Eternal Dev Coder asks, is VB.NET dead in my opinion? No, not in the least. Visual Basic is used extensively by folks that are building desktop applications. The question really is Visual Basic applicable in some of these new places that we're going? I think it is. Enterprises love Visual Basic for how stable it is, how easy it is for folks to pick up and learn Visual Basic who aren't necessarily programming folks. It definitely has a purpose. The folks that you'll find that are saying VB.NET is dead are C# folks. Oh, we don't need to support VB anymore because it's dead. No. There are VB folks out there. There aren't anywhere near as many as there are C# folks. But there's still more VB folks than there are F# folks. The VB folks, though, they're picking up and learning it because it is very natural language to them. So, Panos Track, welcome. Nice to meet you. You're transitioning to C# from VB in new apps. There you go. Okay. Cyber Benny asks, what is F#? F# is a functional language that works in the .NET Core, .NET Framework runtimes. You have your choice when you build against .NET Core and .NET Framework and Xamarin of different programming languages. And you're welcome to choose whatever language works for you. Visual Basic, very great, very stable. Doesn't get a lot of changes because we want to maintain that stability. And it has that very natural language way of constructing your interactions with the language, where C# is much more object-oriented and C in structure, right? It looks very C and Java in structure. F# gives you access to all that same functionality, but with a functional approach. So you can build and use functional first, the language. If that's the way that you think and you want to program, it'll really help you with that. So. Panos is asking for help with a little bit of code. Can I tell how to convert this in JavaScript? I'm not sure what you're trying to achieve there. F# is now influencing JavaScript, says Lannon, with things like the pipeline operator. Yes. There are folks who are trying to program JavaScript with a more functional approach instead of object-oriented approach. And you don't have to use all the languages of every programming language. Okay, the next issue that we wanted to look at was around sound effects reporting how long the cooldown is. The sound effects are sitting here inside of our chat bot. Here it is, the sound effects command. So we have a series of sound effects. They were initially defined right here. I'm going to delete this now because they're now in a configuration file right here. And where are they? There's the configuration file. So here, whenever you issue the Scott command, right, it fires one of these 9 Scott sound effects, right? If you fire and then, it'll trigger one of these 6 and then sound effects, right? And some of these other ones are 1-to-1, right? But there's these ones where it's got multiples that it'll work with.
And then?
Oh My there's only one Oh My, right? So, it's okay if you don't. You can sign up for Discord very easily, and you can use Discord in the browser. And it's a little bit easier for folks to work with it then. Yeah, that doesn't tell me. You've given us 2 lines of code there. It doesn't tell me what you're trying to do with it. You want to convert that to JavaScript. Well, the JavaScript syntax is very similar. You're creating a decimal array that's 170 wide. Is that all you're trying to do, is create a 170 element wide array? Off topic, yay Cricket. If you enjoy Cricket, more power to you. Alright. So we have all these commands, and there's these cooldowns for these. And this is actually a global, not global, but this is a cooldown to the scope of these. You can actually fire the Scott command 9 times. It'll go through all 9 of these, and it'll reset the 30 seconds at the end of that 9th one.
Right, Scott.
See that? Here we go. Now we're going to test that out, aren't we? So, right, Panos, that code allocates an array that is 170 elements wide. So you end up with an array that has 170 empty spots for decimals. Right? So, yeah, think about it as it's created boxes that you can put a decimal in, and there's 170 of those boxes all next to each other inside the same single variable that is what did you call it there in your sample code? There it is. In your experience array. Right? So that's what that new decimal square bracket max level does. It creates an array that is, in that case, because you set max level to 170 wide. So there you go. Good luck to you in your project. Let's take a look-see here. So if we want to report how long till that cooldown is available again, in our sound effects command here, when we check the cooldown, here's where we log what the cooldown time is. Internal cooldown check. Here it is. So there's a specific check here for and then. I think this and this are the same now. Oh, it's because we have a different message that indicates that, oh, you're on cooldown. Right, and we have another one here for the Scots. I have a feeling that, you know what, we could have the reject message come out of our configuration file instead of it like this, and then we can just have that rejection message be returned. Right? This check multiple files cooldown is where it's actually looking to see and say, well, check and figure out, well, do we have, do we need to wait, right? And here it's calculating the cooldown time, right? And this is only used, where's this used? Yeah. So let's do this. I don't like these two if blocks are identical. Let's move this rejection message out into a parameter. Take care, little Andy. Thanks so much for joining us. Right, if I move this out, then we can make it a little bit easier, right? So if I have, right, let's add a property here, string cooldown message. Right? Yeah. So then I can add cooldown message, right? And that's for the Scots. Here it is. Right, I can do that. And I can do the same thing with the and thens. Right? There they are. Okay. So this then becomes, right, I can get rid of that, get rid of this. Send message. So now I know the command text, sound cooldowns. Where is it? Oh, the command is the, right? So I can make this cooldown message. Yeah. Now, right, check multiple files cooldown is just returning a Boolean at this point. So instead of just returning true or false, I could also return the time left. Surly Dev says, in the case of Scott and then, that you time out each of the 6 of 9 files, but the command stays usable until they are all used up, or the timeout times out for each of them. Well, that's what it's doing here, right? So if they haven't been used, right, then you can use it. Once it starts using it, right, it'll lob it into this cooldown array. And until they're all used, right, there it is. You can continue firing it, or we've recycled and we've hit the 30. The 30 seconds in this case. Sure, Binary Chef, you can ask an Azure question. And I might be able to answer it. Somebody in chat might be able to answer it. There's a comment about checking, making sure that we keep an eye on that. Casing, I think we're good on those. Right, so this is, right, from seconds. That creates a time span. And it's here. Right? Command text add. Yeah, so it adds the cooldown time and says, well, is that less than now? If I wanted to also return the time until that, right? Which is here, right? So this is saying if the cooldown is already expired, clear it out. If it hasn't expired, return whether or not we've used up all of them. Binary Chef asks, is AKS like Azure Functions except it uses containers? So I'll only be billed for when the container is actually computing and not idling. No, AKS is the Azure Kubernetes service. You'll be billed while the container is running. Is the way that I understand how that works. AKS in its billing model is similar to app service. You have it running, even though it's not actually servicing anything. It's allocated. Yes, the docs... The docs say AKS is serverless. Kubernetes isn't serverless. Kubernetes is building and deploying servers. They're overusing the term serverless in my opinion. Yeah. I'm not sure what Fargate is. Brave Cobra, can you tell us what that is? I'm not as familiar with the AWS product names. If I wanted to return the time until the cooldown, right? I mean, this is the time span of when it's going to happen, right? I mean, I could put in the output variable container instances. Okay. Right, I could have this return not just a Boolean, right, where it checks multiple. Where is this being called? Yeah, here. And there's the cooldown also for anything that isn't multiple files. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's Azure Container Instances in Azure. So I could get the cooldown back as part of this also, right? I could make it an out parameter. Probably easier to make it an out parameter at this point. You know? Out time span cooldown remaining. Right, and I can initialize cooldown remaining equals time span. Is there a time span 0? Yeah, time span 0. Tim Bodette is raiding. Oh my goodness. Welcome, raiders. Woo! Oh my lord. Let me get some music. Do I have some music? I don't have some music. Welcome, raiders. My name's Jeff, and I'm writing code. Thanks so much for joining us. Tim, thank you very much for that raid. Wow. Look at them all coming in. Tim Bodette and the Turtles race in to save the day. Well, thank you. 46 viewers coming over from Tim's channel. How's it going there? Thank you so much. Attack. Tim needs a rainbow beard. No, Tim doesn't need a rainbow beard. Oh my goodness. My name is Jeff Fritz. We're writing a little bit of code here today. We're fixing up our bot a little bit, and we're going to get back into doing a little WebAssembly work here. Particularly writing an application that manages volunteer time. What are we working on over there, Tim? I thought I saw earlier you were working on a model for a race car. Do I have that right? So, oh, good. You have a clip for me for today. Fantastic. Thank you. Going well. Had to pause the stream for food. Getting the food grumps. Yes. Oh, I know that one. President, not sure. Love the rainbow bearded Clippy. Yeah, Smab, I'm right there with you. Don't mention documentation to me. The Lone Eye Ranger. Absolutely. Play a little bit of the good, the bad, and the ugly. It's so good to see you. Right? You can't really hear it, but that's the Brady Bunch thinking music. And it's, yeah, with the other music playing in the background. I need to crank up the volume level of that one. So it's great to see you, everybody that joined us from Tim's stream. We've been recruiting folks to join us over here. We want to increase our follower count. It's 7423 right now. So thank you to our latest follower over there. I didn't see their name. Where did it go? I saw Lolo. Thank you so much for following and joining us. Yeah, we're recruiting all kinds of followers. We're recruiting folks like...
I want rustlers, cutthroats, murderers, bounty hunters, desperados, mugs, pugs, thugs, nitwits, halfwits, dimwits.
There we go.
Snipers, conmen, agents, bandits, muggers, buggerers, bushwhackers, hornswagglers, horse thieves, train robbers, bank robbers, diggers, and Methodists.
Methodists? Thank you for the follow, Starless Jupiter. I appreciate you joining us. I hope you weren't a mug, pug, or a thug, or a murderer. Thanks so much for joining us. Great to have everybody here. So, no, I have nothing against Methodists. That's just the way the clip was. All right. So I'm gonna set. We're updating our bot here. So yeah. Brave Cobra says, "Hey, that was an accurate description of some of the chat members." Yeah, I think you're right. No, we didn't. Do we need to update the clip so that it says JavaScript developers in there? No. I've got another clip. I think it was Surly Dev grabbed the clip for me. Yeah, I should have triggered the horses. Yes. Whenever we say the word JavaScript here on stream, the horses whinny. I don't understand. They love it so much. Oh.
Alrighty then.
Yeah, there we go. So we're updating the bot so that when you trigger some of those sound effects from chat, it's going to tell you now how long it is until the cooldown expires, and you can fire that sound effect again. So I'm going to return a cooldown remaining out of this method, and I've actually got the cooldown information, right? It's where is it? Wait a sec. So I'm going to return it. Where? Hang on. I think I put it in the wrong place. I did. Hang on. Get rid of it. Not there. It's... There we go. On this one. Check multiple files cooldown. I'll put it on there. And... I'll say... cooldown remaining. I'll initialize that to 0. So that it always has a value. But when we actually need to check the cooldown remaining, I'm going to set it right here. Right? Because these other ones, right? It's the else here where it's okay, it's legit. So I'm going to actually just return, I'll copy that and say subtract now, and we'll return, well, that'll return it as a time span. So back up here, right, I'm going to return the cooldown remaining. So that's a, come here you, that's going to be a time span cooldown remaining, and we'll receive that out. Cooldown remaining, thank you. So when it isn't available, we'll say please wait another seconds, and this will be cooldown remaining total seconds. There, so that's nice and polite. I might declare a button on Stream Deck to quickly add ! JavaScript to chat, says Brave Cobra. Maybe do voice analysis to do it automatically. So Brave Cobra, that's actually something that our friend Fanny Reinders has done. And it uses Azure speech services to make that work. And it looks like a really neat solution. My problem is because I run 5 shows a week, that's as many as 20 shows a month, 2 hours each. That's 40 hours of analysis. That's really expensive. And I don't know any Azure people who will pay for that for me. So I'm looking for a cheaper way to do it because, yeah, Azure Speech Services is really expensive when you get to that size. Same thing with doing chat transcripts. Not chat transcripts, voice transcripts. It's really expensive. So I need to figure that out. Drawn to Code. Hello from the Lehigh Valley. Well, Drawn to Code, you are right near me here, and I'll be up in the Lehigh Valley in November for Tech Bash. I need to update my... It's over here, this thing. My events block there, so it has the Tech Bash logo, the .NET Conf logo, the TwitchCon logo, the Ignite logo, the Dev Intersection logo. I've got like 6 events I've got to drop in there. We got to make that happen. Sean says, I hear the horses when I say JavaScript now. Yeah, that's a thing. Wolfhound Jesse says, you make the most curious things come to life. And thank you, Wolfhound Jesse. I really appreciate that because these things, they do. They're...
It's alive!
It's alive. It's real code. So, all right. So that's good for the cooldown message when I have these multiple ones. I need a to-do command. To do update events overlay. Oh. Ooh, Surly Dev. I like that. Can you open an issue in the repository with that? That's a really good idea. Then people can keep notes for me. And if we put that in the overlay, right? If we actually had, right, like, and it's somewhere here in the overlay, you can't see my cursor. Like, over on that side, a to-do that was being managed by VIPs and moderators. That would be really nice. Yeah, 2 ideas in one show. Can you believe it, Surly Dev? Can you believe it?
Are these really the questions that I was called here to answer?
Yes, they were, Jack. Yes. Yes, they were. Because you know what?
Oh my. It can be done exactly how I want it.
Exactly how I want it.
The only question is, are you the man to do it?
Darn Skippy, I'm the right man to do it, and we're going to make it happen. And exclamation point mark to let mods create Twitch markers. That's not bad. There's also been a request to be able to change title. Title, I think, is a trickier one to do. That's not bad. Not bad at all. Cadmus asks, have you looked at one of the free auto-close captioning stream services? You could use that for voice transcription and parse that text for JavaScript. I could do that. The way that those work is they open, you end up opening Google Chrome and does a little bit of work in Chrome over there. Not completely terrible. Clark.io uses exclamation point mark. Does he? I'd have to look at the APIs, figure out how to do that. I mean, it's got to be possible. But, yeah. Let me put another cooldown message here, right? So this is just the return, right? If the cooldown has been triggered. I feel like I need to put this into an if statement then if I'm going to put a nice message here. Right. Cooldown waiting. Right, is something like that. Okay, Karnak, I thought you were working. Karnak. Right? Karnak. Karnak. Thank you. It should be right here. It's not working. Let's restart Karnak. Because I know some of the hotkeys I use you want to be able to see. There they go. The Michael Jolly, good to see you. He's making markers for his stream notes. Yeah, so I know a number of folks do stream notes for their stream. The Michael Jolly does it. Robert Tables does it to kind of show, oh, here's what we did on these. I don't want to be taking notes as I'm streaming because I feel like it takes away from some of the organic growth of what's going on here. However, I do want to be able to get information out about what happens during the stream so that we can make it searchable so that folks can find it. That's why I want to do a complete chat transcript subscription. Let the mods do it for me. I don't want to rely on having moderators or a producer or director. Like Len Grossman, my producer, is sitting just off camera over here. You can't see him, but he's ready to tear me a new one. But I can get the chat transcript. Oh, and I get the chat transcript. So why use mark and notes so the mods and users can do it? It actually creates the page and all that. So all you have to do is review the PR and merge it after the stream. I'm not opposed to that, I guess. But then, see, my concern, my problem then is, right, I don't want to effectively assign folks a job, right? Let's let it sink a little bit. Let me think about that. Not opposed to it at all. So I'm gonna just, let me finish this nice message about the cooldown waiting. Really? Thank you. Chat service, send message async. Right, we're gonna need to await that. Ugh. Right, I want to say, yeah. What's the command? Command, it's not response. It's like the text. Where is it? Sound effects definition. Right, response, file, files, cooldown message. Oh, you know what it's hooked up? It doesn't have. Well, I can get the command text, that's it. Yeah. The command text is not available for another seconds. And this is going to be the cooldown waiting. Oh, come on now. Well, take that. Oh, wait a sec. Hang on. Let me do the same subtract here. Right? Because then I can say cooldown waiting. Total seconds less than 0. No, if it's greater than 0, then this. Return cooldown waiting, total seconds greater than 0. Because then if, equals 0. Right? Because if it is 0, less than or equal to 0. What overlay bot are you using? Yeah. Actually, Michael Jolly uses his own that he wrote. Now what's this? Oh. Total seconds. The await operator can only be used within another async method. Fine. I like them apples. Okay. That works. Should work. We'll find let's run the test version of the bot here and see if we can get some of these messages to run. What? Oh, I see. Let's see if that actually works then. Right? It should load it just fine. Come on, chatbot. Go, 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 go.
Boom goes the dynamite.
No, not really. Maybe. There it loads. All right. So there's the chatbot running, and it's the web browser's opening here on another page. I don't really care about the web browser. We don't need to look at that one. But we should be able to start running. Hey, Tommy K 9991. Good to see you. We should be able to run some of those other commands here. Like, I don't want to do the multiple ones yet. There you go. Now it fired twice because it's on 2 bots running here.
Great Scott!
Right? Oh my is one that has a... Oh, I did it twice. There we go.
Oh my.
There you go. It's not available for another... Now, that's kind of annoying that... Right, we should have rounded that number of seconds. Yeah, see that? Yeah, math... I agree, Cadmus. Just do a math round and chop it off, and we're in great shape. Right? So it's doing the subtract. Yeah. Let me put a math.round around this one. And we're going to want the same deal on this one. And if we try that, see what I think is funny is, even though I've got all these multiple versions of the end thens and the Scott commands, we've never had anybody troll us and try and fire them all as fast as possible. You know? That is some fancy precision. Still allow it for the mods to bypass? I don't know. Right, so
Oh my.
right, there's oh my once. There you go. Not available for another 28 seconds. 27 seconds. So we'll see if it comes around, and it should run. But we let's hammer the end ends.
Great Scott.
There we go. No and then. Please wait another 113 seconds. Oh my in 6 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Oh my.
It worked. And now it's blocked. Fantastic. Right, we've got 2 minutes until the end thens come back. Thank you for the follow, Yuval. Appreciate you joining us, and look forward to seeing you in the chat room. We're setting up a little bit of a nice cool down message coming out of the chat room there. I think attention might not be on the same. No, not and then. Yeah, attention always works. Try !help CDE 28, and you'll be able to get the list of them. There's 2 bots running right now. This one that you see behind me in beta mode, if you will, and there's another one that's running in production mode off to the side here. So yeah, you're gonna get double messages coming back for just a little bit while we're in debug building mode. Well, 4x because 2 people ran the help command. So, all right. I think that works for that. Not load balancing. I see what you did there. Yeah, the tacos went... Did the tacos fly by? I didn't see the tacos. Oh, you know why? Oh, no. The tacos will always. Add command aliases. Add command aliases. Okay. I can buy that. Can you open an issue for that? See, there's the rim shot. You can hit the rim shot again. All right. Yeah, there we go. Here come the end thens. Go ahead, DB context user. Keep hammering that exclamation point end then. Right, really get that.
And then.
There you go. Yeah. Nah, that's great, right? The end thens go flying by. Cool. So I'm feeling pretty good about that fix. The last one that I want to talk about is that raid call. And that raid call, that format just looks bad when I paste it in there and it runs. It just looks awful. Right? So look at that. Like, I mean, it wraps badly, right? No exponential back off? No. No exponential back off. So let me grab that. This is what the raid call currently looks like. And this looks like it needs to be... Excuse me. Like that much longer. Right? Because it doesn't wrap properly. Right? Oh, now it's like, how many too long there? Too long. Right? Break it up into 2 messages, maybe. Maybe. See, so make it multiple messages. That's not bad. That's not a bad idea at all. So let's look at that. So the raid call is here. If we made that multiple messages, I love the tacos one sitting there. We would need our, right, so we have a generic text command that raid call runs as part of. So it gets a dictionary of string and string, right? Let's close some of these other ones. Thank you for the follow, Myth. Welcome. Appreciate you joining us. So if we make it multiple, well, I could, right? I could turn it into just a raid command over here. That sends multiple messages. That's what I was thinking, Smab. It was, and it's a very good point, is instead of just having response be a block of text, have it take a string array, and each item in the array gets pushed out as a separate message. Message. McKeen Synoid, welcome. Appreciate you joining us, and I look forward to seeing you in the chat room. So if we change that signature so that response also accepts, right now I'm changing the schema of this app settings, so that response also takes an array instead of like this. Right, so commands gets loaded up here. Where? Here. So it's actually looking at the configuration section and grabbing those two items. And it's getting it as a string. Maybe it's a string array. Right? I like where we're thinking on this. I really do. So if it's a string array instead of just a string, right? Because then I can do... Ugh. Glenn!
Glenk just resubscribed for 7 months.
Glenk? Thanks so much for the resub. Really appreciate that. So if the response is an array, and we're going to make a donation to Coder Dojo for that sub, just like we do with all of our subs, all of our cheers here on channel. Thank you so much for the resub. So if we make this an array, this isn't going to work. I need to do a pivot there to check if it can get the response as a string or if it gets the response as an array and add it appropriately into this. What if I did this? I know, Glenk. It's Glenk. Great to see you, my friend. Thanks so much for tuning in this morning. What if I did this? How about this chat room? Smab, and tell me if this makes sense. Why not, instead of detecting a string array? Oh, this is such a hack, and I love it. Think about this. Think about this. Tell me I'm wrong. What if we detect where the carriage returns are? Split on the carriage return if there's a carriage return in that response. There's your array. For each over that and send the messages. Huh? Huh? What do you think? What do you think, Smab? I'm gonna give a second or two for the 100% sentiment. Did you see that? Clip that. We had 100% sentiment. Oh my good lord. We did our...
Well, do your best.
We did our best. It was amazing. We had 100% sentiment. I'm still missing my other sound effects. I had new sound effects we added in here, and I didn't put them in. I didn't. I'm still working on this one. Pat
1567 just resubscribed for 2 months.
Thanks so much, Pat. I appreciate that. I'm working on this GIF for when we introduce new people. And I've got the sound to go with it saying, I'm Scott, I'm new here. And I want to make that one of the resubs that comes up. But I was looking for my sound effects. Where is it? Sound effects. I've got new sound effects that I dropped in here that I haven't added yet.
Strange things are afoot at the Circle K.
And...
Greetings, my excellent friend.
Right?
Danger's my middle name.
So, I've still got to get those into the mix. But what do you think of the... that was Scott talking to Scott. It was double the Scott. Pac-Man Jr. agrees. Let's try and split on the \n. What if you want to print \n, says Cadmus? Well, then you put 2 backslashes. That's how that works. And that was Scott adding value. I'll let you figure out which Scott it was. Right, so I can then do this. Oh my gosh, I think it works. I think it works if we do it that way. All right, so let me go back over to text command. I don't need to change and have it detect an array at all then. Right? Right? Because the response is just the response. What I can do is, down here in the execute, if command is lurk, then I'm not quite sure why that's different. Otherwise, it puts a hyphen in between. It feels weird. Let's do this. If command contains, yep. Right, if it does not contain that, Otherwise, we need the array of messages. So we'll call this messages equals commands, command, yeah. And we'll split on that. So now we have messages is an array of strings. Yes. Thank you for the follow, Mr. Miz. Oh my gosh, Mr. Miz, thank you. Appreciate you joining us. And we're getting closer and closer to this 8,000 follower goal. Every 100 followers, so when that gets to 7,500, we're going to give away a sticker pack. I sent out more stickers yesterday. I've got tons of these .NET stickers that I'm sending out to folks. We'll randomly give them away at every 100 followers. All the different emotes, you'll be able to get those. And if you see me at TwitchCon, I'm working on cards to hand out. I'm working on stickers. I've got some amazing swag for the live coders that make it to TwitchCon, and all the live coders that requested one are going to get a jersey, a team jersey, a gamer's jersey. You're going to be the envy of the technical community. You're going to be the envy of your meetup. Yeah. So let's just output each message, right? We'll just do it for each on these. MSG in messages. Ooh. I don't want to return that. I don't want to return that as one. Oh, wait a sec. I could do a right task. Wait all. No, I don't want to wait all. How do we accumulate a series of tasks? Right? I want to capture a bunch of these. I don't want to do when. When all, right? Oh, okay, yeah. That'll work. Fantastic. But I want to put all the tasks into... Right, I need a collection of those. So I need a list of... Oh, gosh. Right, this feels weird. Right? And to say task list, add... Right, like that? That's weird. That doesn't feel right. That's weird. You know? Get rid of that quote. Right? These are async. You want them to run synchronously to guarantee order, though. Yeah, I do. Space Cat now with the host. Thank you, Space Cat. Suggesting doing a task when all... See, I do need them to appear synchronously. Good morning! How's it going, Space Cat? They are async, but I do need them to fire in order. So it's almost like I need to get the one after it and when each one of those. When them together. Right? So when this completes, do this one. When this completes, do this one. So they're chained, and they're going to be pretty deep. Right? We're going to end up with this hierarchy. Yeah, we do. You're right, Elfo Crash. You're right. We need to await them in order. I don't want to just put them into a list. I need to guarantee... the task. Previous task. Previously on... No. I need a first task. Yeah. And I need the previous task. Follow me here. Let me know if this is completely off my rocker. If first task equals null, it needs to be double equals. First task equals previous task equals Wait a sec. Right, move that up in there. Previous task equals the same one. It's equals first task. Oh, that's gonna be ugly. Yeah, I need just one. Well, boy. Yeah, I'm going to chain these together. No, I need to chain these in order, because what I want to affect is right, task.run something. Oh gosh. Right, task dot if I do run, right, run something. Oh, come on. You're not going to give me the thing? I'm not going to get the thing. Right? Because run returns a task. Right? And I want to do... task dot... No... Right, I want to do a continue with. Right? But continue, where did continue with go? So the loop is all but the last one and inside, yeah. Well, I need the first one so I know to await it. That's the one that I'm going to return, and it has the other ones all chained onto it. Right? Let me take a look at what Brave Cobra has for us. Right, chaining tasks using continuation. Yes, I want to chain these together. Creating a continuation for a single antecedent. Yes. Task continue with method. Yes. Task A continue with the next one. So I need the first task, and I'm going to say continue with, and I need the previous task, because I'm going to return the first task. I need the previous one, so I can pass it along. So I do need both. So if first task is null, then previous task equals the first task. Right? Otherwise, previous task. Now, there it was. Continue with that right there. But that needs to be a task. You know what I'm saying? Creates a continuation that receives caller supplied state. Yeah. Now, why doesn't it like this? What? Continuation action. Nope, doesn't like that either. Needs to take an action with a task and returning an object. Well, that does return an object. Right? Continue with an action. No, I'm sorry. It's an action. It takes two arguments. A task and and the state. Well, I don't care about the state. Right. Right? So, no. Yeah, that, Hang on. Go back to that. Mm-hmm. So, right, this is saying continue with, right? It's going to be some sort of an object that's passed in for the state. There it goes. That works. And this task here, yeah, I need to put that somewhere so I can chain it out. Oh my gosh. But I need to have that same pointer. So if I say this here, then this becomes this task, and previous task equals this task. Right? Because previous task is going to chain on to the first task. Yeah. So then I'm going to return first task. That's kind of ugly. We're chaining, so we send multiple messages, but we need them in the right order, and we need to guarantee the order. Yeah. Let me put these right. Prepare to raid. Right, so let me see how wide this subscriber's copy message is. See that, but that's going to be different when the bot sends it, because the bot has a different name. You know? Let's see. Let's see how it looks. Let's see how it looks. There it is. So I'm going to start that. Let's see how this works. Oh, just rename the bots as Cadmus.
You have no idea what you're dealing with.
None.
Do it live!
Yeah, we're going to do it live. And for some reason, that... I don't know if it's a memory thing or what, but the Stream Deck takes a long time to trigger those messages right now. Let's see. Let's see. We've opened the live dashboard. Come on. What are you doing? Thank you for the follow, Jason Ragasa. Welcome. There it goes. Now it's started. All right. And let's see, what do you have there? Yeah, chaining those continue withs work. Yeah, that's what we're going to end up with. Hopefully. Let's see here. I'm going to type raid. Okay, that's not bad. That worked. You know what? I don't think I need the first line, but you know what? That worked for that multi-line output there in chat. I'm going to get rid of the first line. I don't think I need that. Yeah. That looks much better. I like it. Now, why didn't the second one turn into emotes? Right? That means, where is it? Where's hype? Hype. Oh, there's a separate hype command, isn't there? Hype command. This one. That's... I like that hype command better, though. Right? That's missing the stuff. Right? It should be this. That's what I want to put in there. Oh my gosh, Freckled Fiberworks raiding the stream. Hello. Welcome, Raiders. Oh my goodness. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks so much for joining us. Freckled Fiber. Wow. Thank you. 52 viewers coming over from that channel. Yeah, you can fire exclamation point defend there and defend the channel. Gosh. Welcome in, Raiders. My name is Jeff Fritz. We're writing a little bit of code here, tuning up our bot, applying some fixes, and having a good time working on some of these things together. Gosh, Freckled Fiberworks, what were you working on over there on your channel? Let us know in the chat room. And can we get a shout out for Freckled Fiberworks while we're here? And we want to make sure we support. Good to see you. I haven't been around in a minute. Used to be known as Get in My Mailbox. Oh yes, of course. Of course. Good to see you. So, I'm going to eventually end up changing my name to some other programming language, Fritz. That's a really long name, so I don't think it's going to be some other language, Fritz, but we'll figure it out when that time comes. As long as it's not that one Cadmus, as long as it's not that one JavaScript Fritz. I tell you. No. No. We hit it at the same time. Look at that. Some other programming language, Fritz, isn't too long. Yes, it is. It's way too long. Way too long. PHP Fritz says good cheeseburgers. No. Go Fritz isn't too bad, Rising Phoenix. But it's still a bit long. A bit. Let me see here. All right, so that, I think we've got the fixes in here for now that I want. I'm going to commit these changes, and we'll redeploy here. Clear that. Let's take a look at the files that were changed, and thank you for the follow, Sida Lee. Thank you. Assembler Fritz, Wasm Fritz might be nice. C Fritz, no. No. Mainly hardware and arty. Did I miss? Freckled Fiberworks says, spent 4 hours redecorating the mechanical keyboard with a vinyl backplate cover. Ooh, new keycaps. Ah, and blended some dyed fleece into a rainbow. Okay, that's pretty cool. All right, well done. VB6 Fritz, that is right out. Fortran Fritz, not opposed. VB Net Fritz, no, not happening. Not happening. All right, let's fix. What did we fix? Text command to handle an array. A CR delimited array. Thank you for the follow. What else did we do? Added cooldown timers. And what was the last one? We did something. And I closed that notepad. Rats. What was the third thing we did? J plus Fritz. Oh, Tam. No. F sharp Fritz, we tried. I have that account on Twitter. What language is this? This is C sharp that we're using. I do have dozens of Twitch accounts. I do have dozens of Twitch accounts. Fritz plus plus. That's not bad. You don't code, but you enjoy watching it. Oh. All right. We can help with that. What was the last thing we did? It was the cooldown timer, and there was something else. Whatever. It works. Oh, the raid. Yes. Well, the raid was the carriage return delimited array. I'll push that up. I'm going to... You make me sad. What am I missing here? Oh, it's all those fixes. Yes. I'm going to push. I'm going to tag it. And we'll push out a new version here. Fritz on Rails, says K the Blade Runner. Fritz on Rails. That one sounds pretty cool. That one, okay, I could live with that one. All All right. What are my versions that I have here? Let me take a look. 15.2. Let's make this 1.16. So I'm going to rebuild the bot. This will be 1.16.0. So I have a build command here that'll automatically build the container that the bot runs out of, pushes the container out to an Azure repository, an Azure container registry, and sets it up so that I can run it here locally. .fritz core 3.0. Now, Landon, that's just too long. That's too long. Swift Fritz. If I worked for Apple, Swift Fritz might be cool, but I don't work for Apple. It's not too bad. Let's go. Come on. We're waiting. Where is it? I've got a... there it goes. Oh my goodness.
Bueller?
It's taking forever here.
Bueller?
No, there's another one I have for insulting when it's slow like that. No, those are screams. I don't want screams.
You got the wrong guy. I'm the dude.
No,
man.
that's not it either. I thought I had We're Waiting. Fritz and Giggles. No. Take care, Freckled Fiberworks. Thank you very much for the raid. We really appreciate that. Let's see. Come on, build. Here it goes. Come on. Go. Thank you for the follow. It doesn't say. It didn't say who the follow was. I don't see it. There we go. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce that. But thank you for the follow. Appreciate you joining us. But Fritz and Giggles. Maybe. There we go. There it's, see, here it's tagging, and we're going to push out those tags so they get updated. There's a 1.16 available now out on the server. Pushing out the container. There it is. Fantastic. So now I can restart over here, and I will restart the bot. I saw that, Michael Jolly. I saw that. Okay, and I'll rerun the bot. Can't stop. The bot can't stop. There it goes. So now, if I do the raid command, I'm not raiding yet. There it goes. That looks good. That looks really good. I like that a lot. That also means that all the commands now have the timeouts appended to them. So you'll see the timeouts when you fire some of the sound effects. Thank you for the follow. Who just followed? Stream Elements is running a little behind. There's the Scott command. What are we building, says Jason Regassa. So we've been fixing up our chatbot here a little bit so that it's a little bit more friendly. I fixed my raid call there so it's multiple lines. There's also a couple of commands that you can fire in chat that play sound effects and have a cooldown. Well, if you play the sound effect and you've hit the cooldown and it's not going to play it, we should tell you appropriately that you've hit the cooldown and output a block of text appropriately. So,
Squirrel.
See? Not distracted at all. Now fire squirrel again. Oh, you can't fire squirrel again because... See, there you go. Another 50-some seconds. Yep, load up those end-thens. You can hammer the end-thens. Thank you for the follow, Mr. Deviate. So, Michael Jolly was saying, in keeping with Rule 34. Yes, Rule 34. I was introduced to that the other night. And... wow. You know, just wow. Yep. Horse. Here come all the end-thens. Load them up. Right? Oh, I introduced Rule 34 to you, Michael Jolly. Huh. Question is this WPF, UWP, or Xamarin? This is actually ASP.NET. Now, it's not that funny. I've unleashed the chat room on testing the sound effects. Oh my dear Lord! And him too. Wow, look at this. crazy in here.
Oh my.
I've lost control.
Great Scott!
No, it's good cheeseburgers. It kind of looks like it, but this is C#. And there goes the JavaScript horses. Right? I don't think there's a cooldown on those. Is there? There they are. 30 seconds. Right, so if you try and fire the JavaScript command again, it won't catch it. It'll block you.
Squirrel!
They do look very similar.
Oh my.
See, look at this is crazy. Crazy going on out there. Thank you, Cosmin, for joining us. This is what happens when you ask developers to test code. Things just get nuts. Is that Jason Statham or Jason Bourne? Ah, Kay the Blade Runner. I see what you did there.
Boom goes the dynamite.
And boom goes the dynamite. Oh my goodness.
Wait, Master. It might be dangerous.
Yeah, it's dangerous. Look at what they're doing to my chat room. Most times I have to pay for services like this. They're stress testing it for me. Yes, they are. Yes. Look. There you go. Nope, no squirrel for a little bit.
Oh my.
I feel like I need a global cooldown now. Do I need a global cooldown? Yeah, there's Dr. Scott.
Squirrel!
So the end ends, it's waiting, right? There's 120 seconds after you burn them all up. The Scots, it's 30 seconds to burn them all. Do I need a mute command? Nah.
Great Scott!
I don't know. Global cooldown would prevent us from being able to chain some of these. So, you want to see run it? Run what? Run what? Thank you for the follow. Is that so? The attention command doesn't have a cooldown. Yeah, mute me. Right. Yeah, I am running the program, Jason. They're doing it. Oh, when I'm interviewing people, I actually can shut that down because I can remove the attention, the plugin that's in. I remove the plugin that's sitting inside of OBS, so that's not even on that. So. No, we need the suggestion is a mute button on being able to fire the sound effects.
Oh my.
Being able to disable them with some sort of a message that says sound effects are disabled isn't too bad. That's not too bad a feature to want to design. If I go back over to, where'd it go? Here. Nope, that was the chaining of tasks, which we got perfectly. This should show me the additional build that went through. I guess not. There it is. So completed on what day is today? 25th. So we got that. Got that feature in the mix. Command aliases from Nick. Yep. Title command. There was also a note command that Michael Jolly was suggesting. That's not a bad idea. Sentiment data for later analysis. This is a big one. These sentiment analysis stuff. I feel like we need to do that. What live share are we using? We need to figure that one out. What repository project? This one I'm going to close because I think we figured out a good way to put this on just the project command. Yeah, as part of the project command. Yeah. Closed as we just include this in the project command. That's easy. Yeah, the project command got wiped because we restarted the bot. So what was in there before got wiped. So, and it's building right now. Command aliases is going to be a little bit tricky. Title command for mods, it's not too bad, But notes, I think, would be good. Run the help command, Ewan T. Walker. And you'll see that. There you go. Isn't the date already on the ticket message? Yeah, it is. It is. It is. But I'd like to say it was completed on this date. You know?
And then?
How about have the project command use the title if nothing else is set? Okay, we can do that. We can get the title off of the Twitch API and echo that. Sure. That's not too bad. But we are just a little bit over how long I normally go here today. I like some of these ideas that are coming through. I really do. I'm lazy. My project command always brings back the title, says Michael Jolly. Persistence of settings between restarts. We'd also need to persist the sentiment. The sentiment analysis. I really want to do more with that sentiment analysis over there. I feel like there's a lot we could do with it that we just haven't touched on yet. We could have more tacos. Yeah, I feel like we can do a lot more with the sentiment. Jason, try the John Skeet command. See, it's telling me that there was a subscriber, but I don't have the subscriber. There it is! Salikar! Thanks so much for the sub.
Just subscribed.
There it is. Thanks so much. And we'll make a donation to Coder Dojo, who's helping to train trainers, build more facilities all over the world so that folks everywhere can learn how to write code and grow their technical careers. Thanks so much for the sub. Really appreciate that. All of our subs, all of our cheers this quarter are going to be donated to Coder Dojo. John Skeet can stop an infinite loop just by thinking about it. Yeah. So we've got John Skeet facts in there when you run the John Skeet command. Let's see here. What else do we have? Nope. John Skeet does not have a cooldown. Nope. Of course not. John Skeet can work around those. I need a new events command. That's not bad either. Who are we donating to? A little bit of information about that wouldn't be too bad either. Greet new subscribers automatically. That's a good one to do. Here's what I'm gonna here. So I'm in a weird place here, chat room. I'm in a. That quote isn't my command. Where's that quote coming from? Where'd that quote come from? I mean, it came from my bot, but I don't have a quote command. Oh, I do. I guess I do have a sample quotes. Oh, I didn't know I had a quote command. Sample quotes.text. Where is it? Is it over here? Sample quotes text. Well, look at that. I didn't know I had a quote command, and there they all are. I don't have a way to load additional quotes into it. That would be a good thing to have. And have them sitting maybe in a... Well, if they're in a SQLite database, then it'll get nuked. Nah, I don't want to add a quote command next time. Yeah, right. Enhance it. I like doing these more unique things that we're adding onto it. What I'd really like to do is spend some time pushing this. So when we were in Redmond for our show we did with Phil Hack, I pushed this out to a cloud service, and it was running out there, and I was pulling all the data out there, and the bot was running from a cloud server instead of on my desktop, like you see here. I want to get back into working on the Pixel bot and moving some of these features into there. so that we have a multi-tenant bot running inside containers with Kubernetes out on the cloud. And I feel like that's something that would be extremely valuable to scale. And everybody's got their own little bots here that do these one-off little things. If we make it so that folks can submit a pull request and it adds a feature, automatically deploys, and we can grow and let folks enhance and make that. It'd be really, really nice. Pull the from GitHub the raw file and new quotes are just PR'd in. Yes, absolutely. Electric Havoc digs the hat today. I agree. I like it too. We need a coder dojo for older people that try to change their careers or want to learn an extra skill. Kay the Blade Runner says they taught their dad JavaScript and now he got into Node Express apps. That's great. That's awesome. Aren't the features NuGet components that you could create? Asks Smab. They are. They are. And chain them in. If we look at, so let me show you the other bot that we're working on, that we're growing here, and that is with a database that'll store and manage all the settings. This is set up using the actor model, using akka.net. And the actor model is a way for you to be able to deploy and run various components in multiple processes, multiple threads, multiple hosts. So we've done things in here, let me show you, where we have an overall channel actor object that manages the interactions with a channel. So when it receives a whisper, a direction to whisper something, it'll whisper a message. When it receives a direction to broadcast a message, it'll broadcast a message onto the channel. And we've also got features to manage currency. And these might actually end up going away a little bit when Twitch channel points becomes available. I'm not sure what I think about that yet, but I haven't seen the feature completely. And it has these features laid out inside this channel, this actor. We're slowly breaking them out so that we have these commands out here that receive directions. And here's our first one that we put together to just make sure we can send text to the channel, where we'll receive a command received argument that says, and we'll detect exactly what the text is and we'll broadcast that message. Not bad. It's simple. So the idea is, right, we should be able to grow these by adding in NuGet packages and having them get pulled in. So I started on the first one here to have a chat room widget, right, that you could put on screen and have it receive with an actor and populate these. I've since turned this into a Razor component library so that we could put the actual Razor for this down in here and be able to load it as a NuGet package so that it can be built separately from the main bot. And we can compose, we can load up each one of these objects and have it do a little feature detection to find these and enable those inside of the larger bot. I think I want to get back into this, because the more and more that I work on the Little Stream Elements project, and I do innovative features like the sentiment analysis there, right? I want to make them part of this larger one that is going to be running in the cloud and be able to service multiple channels concurrently. And I think that's where I really want to be with this. The Tall Pants asks a question: do you think tools like ReSharper are worth paying for? Is Visual Studio all you really need 90% of the time? 10 years ago, I would have said yes. ReSharper, CodeRush, absolutely, completely worth it. I agree with Electric Havoc. Visual Studio is getting better all the time. You really only need 10 to 15% of the items that ReSharper can do. CodeRush does some other really neat things that are completely outside the box. There's a great feature in CodeRush where you can embed images directly in your code. That's something. That's something really neat. But those tools, ReSharper, CodeRush, they're great. They really help you inside of Visual Studio. For my purposes, as a member of the Visual Studio project team, I need to stay as stock with Visual Studio as possible. Is Twitch channel points like Stream Elements currency? Yes, except Twitch is building them natively into the platform, which, to be fair, to be critical of Twitch as a platform, that's not the innovation that I'm hoping for from them. That's adding little extensions on the channels like that. You've already got a rich ecosystem that provides that facility. What I look for from Twitch as a platform provider are things like when they added VIP capability. Great, I've got VIPs on my platform. They add the ability for us to have cheer modes, custom cheers in our streams. Great. Things like that that are inherent to the platform. When you convert something that's being managed by a third-party service and you bring it internally, you have an added value to the platform. You've just moved the cheese. Thank you for the follow, Darius. So, yes, Pac-Man Jr., I'd like the ability to find other streamers. Give me a way to find other streamers that are related. That's something. Let's look at growing the platform through making more interactive features, right? Plugins, extensions into Twitch channels are very nice. They're very nice. I'm limited to 3, though. I'd like to be able to do more with that. I'd like to be able to do a little bit more integration. I'd like to be able to do things to get closed captioning a little bit more accessible to more folks, right? When I think about the accessibility of a Twitch stream, there's a lot going on here that I want to make sure is accessible. So, Renegade VI says, like how Google wants to try with Stadia to join the session. Yes. Mixer has a similar feature. The problem that I have with that is, it doesn't really vibe with me for being able to join the session. I'm not, for what we do here, it's kind of weird to do, right? Let's see. Elfo Crash says, I wish Visual Studio for Mac was as awesome as Visual Studio for Windows is. It's getting better, but it should never start as a reskinned Xamarin until it catches up. Rider is the only viable solution. Well, to be fair, Elfo Crash, Visual Studio has 20 years of development in it. And to provide the Xamarin features and start adding on the .NET Core features, it felt like that was the right way to go, was to enhance Xamarin Studio, which means, right, they're bringing over all of those features from Visual Studio into Visual Studio for Mac. It's coming. They're actively working, and they're working hard on it. Most chatbots are channel specific, says Brave Cobra, looking for a stock one that you can customize. See, I believe that having one that you can deploy and run in the cloud is extremely beneficial. I also want to be able to I also want you to be able to run it locally if that's the way you'd like to run it as well. Hey, Codephobia, good to see you. And It's Mike is here. Good evening, good to see you. But I think I'm just about at the end of my time together here today. So let me take a quick peek out there. Who's streaming right now? We can raid. You use Boot Camp on your Mac whenever you need to get into some C#. All right, that's pretty cool. You know what? I don't see too many people in our category streaming out here right now. You know who I'm going to have to raid? You know who I'm going to have to raid? Who might be a lot of fun to raid right now? Let me see. Let me just take a peek over here. I think we can do this. No, it's not too bad. Well, this video, like all my other videos, will be available a little bit later. But I think we're going to come back and start working on that multi-tenant chatbot again here in a little bit. Yeah. You know what? I'm going to raid a friend. We raided her the other day. Let's set up and do another raid on this. Let me put the raid call out there. And let's set up. We are going to raid Imperial. There we go. This is Imperial Girl. Imperial. She's working on a cosplay for Dragon Con next week. She's getting folks in. She's working on a cosplay. She's going to cosplay as the Greatest Showman, as P.T. Barnum, but for the Bunny Hutch event. So it's P.T. Barnum meets a Playboy Bunny costume. Trust me, it's going to be a heck of a lot of fun. So I hope you stick around. Copy, if you're a subscriber, copy that first line that the chatbot pasted out there. If you're not a subscriber, that's okay. Copy the second line. Let's announce ourselves when we get over to Imperial's channel. Thanks so much, everybody, for joining me. Always a lot of fun. I'll be back on Tuesday, and we will be we'll be writing some more code then. I think we're going to get back into the multi-tenant chatbot for a little bit and see what we can do with that. All right, friends, thanks so much for joining. And stick around, and you'll be magically whisked over to go see our friend Imperial. All righty? Take care, everybody. It's been a great morning. I really appreciate everybody joining us, and I'll see you Tuesday evening. That's really late at night for our folks in Europe, but first thing in the morning if you're out there in Asia. All right, take care.